Hello everyone, PM Artist Studio. I am Mariah.
Patricia.
PM. Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I think that's our best intro for so far.
Okay, today we are here as design team members for Luise Heinzl. God, I hope I said that right. Never even really. How does she say her name?
I don't know for sure. She says it really fast.
She can't hear that well. This one.
Yeah. Heinzl.
Heinzl. Okay. Luise, if we made that horrible, I'm so sorry, and just let us know.
Yeah, and did I wiggle the table?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
It's okay. See, I try to step back from the table ever so slightly so I don't not bumper Betty here.
Well, I have to lean forward if I'm going to touch things.
She is. She's in charge of touching.
I'm the toucher.
She's over there touching things.
Okay, I'm off the table now.
Okay. So, we are here to do our very quick little flip through of a 4-page spread in my journal. Because I took on this project a bit more. Tons of help from Mom though, still, from P. And it is using the butterflies and flowers printables available on Etsy. What's cool about this packet kit, I don't know, anyway, set of papers, set of stuff, is that it comes with like 3 sets of things.
Which can be purchased independently.
Yeah,
You don't have to buy the whole set.
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it was a really good idea. We love that.
Yeah.
Especially for us because we don't always like the more ornate backgrounds because we have those capabilities within our skill set. Like, we do those things. So the ones that are more simple, we are more drawn to because then we can put our embellishments and things to it. So loved the more simple backgrounds and just given that ability because that was just really cool. I used 2 different ones because I wanted, my whole thought when I saw these is this old world European feel. Because that's just kind of the feel that it has to it alongside the botanical and encyclopedia 1800s sort of, you know, all that stuff that's very popular right now, but I love it too. I really do. I just think it's so cool.
And the background supported that whole thematic direction, I think.
Like, I always wondered in movies, like when you see the cool books that they've got, they found the cool map, all that stuff that they create for movies, I'm just like, what a cool job would that be? I felt very, like this was my
chance to shine.
This is my thematic moment to create some, you know, stage prop stuff. I don't know. I'm rambling. All right, back to butterflies and actually we're on flowers. Let's flip back. Oh, did you see that? Woo.
Yeah,
we're gonna start with butterflies.
Butterflies, then we'll move on.
Yes, because that's what I started out with, and it's really funny that these are similar in layout, but not at all. I did them completely different because I just didn't think about how I did it the first time, and so anyway, there was that. I did a lot of the layout prior to printing, simply because I can, as I say in many of the videos and will continue.
Saves a lot of paper too.
Saves paper and saves time. So I went ahead and grabbed the butterflies from the ephemera, placed them on the more simple background, the one with the swirlies and the flowers, kind of rosy flower background. Put them in there the way that I wanted them, layered them a bit, because I knew she'd be like, they really need to, you know, they have to be associated with one another.
So they have to have a relationship.
Yeah, and nothing pointing out of the page. We'll come back to that on the flowers, because there was a little moment on that.
Yeah, we had a bit.
So here,
You know, they're all like circling around.
I know, I created
talking,
that.
They're talking to each other. They're
that's
having
what I-
dialogue.
And different size. I sized them ever so slightly. Then I came back with the colored pencil, did some more work. Then I also came back with the glitter. We make these things, these concoctions.
Yes, actually,
Alcohol inks, sprays.
it's in a little teensy-weensy bottle, and we have a little brush that has about 6 hairs.
Yeah, which I thought was the most ridiculous brush. Sorry, I'm fixing that.
And I told her, I said, someday you will have use of it.
And I did, and I have been. This was perfect because it came in like all along here. There's little sparkles. I don't know if you can see it totally in here.
They're very subtle.
Yeah.
They're no...
And then this little guy, he's actually cut out along with the other ones over there, and I painted them gold on the backside. Yeah, some hooty-doo.
Some stuff.
I also made them antennas.
Yes,
which
look
she
at
thought
this.
was pretty ridiculous, but
Watch this. Watch this. Oh
which
my
the
gosh.
those were made out of the edges of the business cards. So I just, because you know, from like just trimming paper and it kind of curls.
Oh, I had no idea. I was really... Oh, I'm not so impressed now.
Why are you?
I thought those were the real butterfly things, you know, the... Oh my gosh, that one too. Huh. See, I'm in an advisory capacity here. I'm really not actually involved in the day-to-day building. She will just call me and say, okay, what needs to happen here, Mom? And
Oh, okay. Well, let's go to the. She was. A
I
big
will.
part.
Oh, this I'm going to do. I'll
Yes.
do my part.
Do that because she was working on other things. Because
But
this
look
is how
at
it
that.
all comes about.
I'm so proud of Mariah and her pencil coloring skills.
I did drop that because I have some butterflies and some of that old vintage-looking clip art type vector files. That's what they really are. It's not clip art. It's vector files of a package I bought, and it had this butterfly, so I put it in there on top of it.
And you know, I like the little butterfly veins and everything that you can see there. Okay, now this was my contribution here, and actually only partially because the original design was mine. It was originally the paper that I laid down to put my little discs on to paint them.
This is how so much of
And so
any of our art stuff.
I just kept it, and it had that wonderful, because I paint these discs with that iridescent-y paint, because then when we run them through the embosser, all of a sudden they start looking really metallic, and I should have brought some of those down to show, because they are quite remarkable, and I have every intention of using them.
Well, we're gonna do another video about like just all of these little things because there's something very exciting coming along, I think, that we're gonna do with Luisa on all of these little tags and bits, just like we used here. See it? Can you see it?
And can you see the little sparkles? And then when you turn it over, okay, this was completely made from a scrap of
Yeah, and the
spray paper.
the original is about yay big.
Yeah, it's
No,
large.
I mean
It's good sized. I don't usually work that small, and I certainly don't work this small. This is a miniaturized version, but it's not. This is not how it really looks because Mariah did some fancy smancy stuff with flipping and mirroring and I don't know those words, but anyway, she did it on her computer.
yeah. So photograph the original.
But look
Shrunk
at
it down. It needed to be that width, so I mirrored it. Then printed it. Brought it back to Patricia.
Yes. I'm just fiddling with the paper over here.
She then glittered it again to be more like the original.
Yeah, and this is where I
Mod
used
Podged it.
the brush that has 8 hairs. I'm serious.
I know we both used. Thank goodness we have
I
two.
don't know if you can see it. I love it when people hold it up there and they're all shaky and whatnot.
There. See our lighting on this side. It's a little
It is
bit better.
a little
Oh, so you can. See a
But the
little.
whole idea was when you have butterfly wings, if you look at them under a microscope or even just a magnifying glass, they have that lovely, lovely iridescence to them. And that was really what we were trying to capture here with this little gem. And so on the back, and I thought this was so cute.
Well, because I thought it was more kaleidoscopy looking, so I took the first verse of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with that. Good stuff, good stuff.
and shrunk down one of the little pockets. So that little pocket that she's putting that into is part of the set as well.
Yes, Luise's original set.
Yeah. Probably I should have made it a little deeper. It was one of the belly bands, in fact, that I turned into a pocket because I didn't want it that deep because I didn't want to lose my butterfly in the background and I wanted to show as much of the beautiful tags as possible. So that was kind of my thought there. Okay, to kind of jump back into this waterfall-y awesomeness,
Yes, which I'm so impressed with.
Okay, so I went and I found all of those old encyclopedia style butterfly. Some are posters, some are found like in encyclopedias and things like that from the 1800s. So I found a ton of that stuff and then overlaid it onto, again, Luise's papers. And that's what those are made out of.
But the actual little dude here is the old business card.
Oh yeah, using more of the business cards.
Yeah. And I just think that that's so brilliant.
Oh, and Jeanette, thank you, because she was the one who told me what kind of tape to buy, because it's just the bookbinding tape, which works perfectly. It's wonderful. And it's 2 inches, so I was able to cover up the business card. It's probably a little bit of a silly use for it's kind of pricey tape, but worked brilliantly.
Isn't that wonderful? I just think that's so magical.
And the way it all lined up, and I even didn't use that little tiny brush to do the illuminated gilding.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to hold this up there. I don't care if I do shake. Can you see that? Isn't that absolutely...
The other one's better on the flower one, because this was my sort of test run. Then let's go over to the flower page, because same kind of deal. Basically what I did is I took the definition of butterfly and flower. Then I went and found the translation for, let's see, I did French, Spanish, Italian, Swedish, and German. Just basically because why I chose those? Mainly because they all looked cool. And I liked the way they sounded. Those were the ones that I liked. That's how I came about that.
There you go.
It was European, so.
Okay, we have to talk about this really quick because then I can just exit the scene because it's really my only contribution other than an advisatorial. I made her tear off the bee.
Okay, so earlier when we were talking about things going out of the page, I didn't notice on the background that I used that the bee, I think it's a bee. It looks more like a beetle, but I do think it's a bee. Anyway, I colored him more beetle-like because I did that. That's kind of it's more custom paint stuff with the concoctions. I did the eyeballs too. They're kind of glowy.
Has a bit of glitter too.
Yeah, like some shiny stuff. Anyway, so I had stuck it down.
Yeah.
Ripped it off and then pointed it back in. Almost.
Almost, sweet baby.
Okay, we have an audience from above.
She's just checking on us, making sure.
All right, so really quick, hopefully to kind of just finish this up because all the steps were pretty much the same. Did the encyclopedia, the different sayings, and I'll photograph all these so that way, if you want to look at the blog, you can see it up.
And I want to talk about this paper very, very quickly because this is one of my, on these particular pages, this is really my only contribution other than advisatorial. This paper was from a practice run that I was just trying out this stamp that I made from the dinosaurs that had been crumpled together. And it turned out it was almost leaf-like, which was really, in some places it looks more like rocks, but you can see it. And it's just, I think it's quite lovely. And I would just say to you, if you have leftover sprayed papers or whatever, don't discard them because later on they may be
in a bag.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Now my problem is locating them, finding them. They're hither and yon, and sometimes I get very frustrated trying to find something when I know exactly what I want, but I just don't know where it is. Yeah. All right.
Well,
glad you joined us today.
We could ramble on.
We could for hours. I could.
we're gonna call it. Bye!